Hey everyone, wanted to share a quick lesson on how to resolve a lisp. Now, of course, I'm not a speech pathologist, so I'm sure they can offer a lot more than I can, but I want to kind of speak from personal experience on what has helped, some of my one-on-one students that I teach over Zoom. So today, let's break down what exactly is a lisp, what causes it, and most importantly, a series of exercises they can use to start to resolve this. Now, real quick, for some of you who don't know me, my name is Ivan. I'm a voice teacher who works with students from all around the world over Zoom. And really on this channel, my goal is to make learning how to sing as simple and as easy as possible. So if that is something that is up your lane, consider subscribing. If you're interested in working with me, links are down in the description below. If you want to inspire our next episode, let me know down in the comments below. Anyway, let's dive in. Now, when I did some more research into this, I realized that there are different types of Lisp. Now, personally, I've only had experience working with the most common one, so I'm going to be sticking with that for today, but I'm sure some of those ideas can also, translate across. Now, this type of Lisp is what speech pathologists call a interdental lisp. Now, what is this? An interdental lisp is basically when consonants like, S, Z, these kind of sounds, which we consider sibilants, they end up coming out sounding a bit more like th, when you say the letters T and H. For example, if I say the word whisper, as if I'm whispering into your ears, for someone who has an interdental lisp, it'll come across a bit more like whisper, whisper, whisper. Now, what causes this interdental lisp? Now, there could be a few reasons, from muscular habits, maybe the wiring in our brains, even to the anatomy. Some people just have a longer tongue, they might have like a wider tongue, they might have a chonkier tongue. But typically the crux is when the tip of your tongue, stays a bit too far forward and it ends up between the top teeth and the bottom teeth like this, which ends up affecting the airflow for sounds. Now, this can be really good when you're saying words that do need that sound, like things, right? TH, the. That's really, really useful, but not so great when you have sounds that contain a lot of sibilants, like sing, right? Which can end up becoming a bit more like thing, or even when you're just purely holding out vowels like R, E, or U, right? They can start to get colored with that lisp. So now that we've explained the problem, let's use a series of exercises to help you start to find a better position for that tip of the tongue. So step one here is let's just start with vowels only, R, E, or U. And let's just explore and see, does our tongue actually ever get to that place where it causes a lisp? And if it does, let's kind of explore slightly different resting positions of the tongue. So if I kind of go on I'll just go on a random note and hold it out. E, O, E, O. Now, as I'm doing this, I'm just simply trying to notice where the tip of my tongue, where does that rest? Now, personally for me, I find that when I'm singing a vowel, the tip of my tongue just kind of relaxes and rests behind the bottom set of teeth. But definitely explore it for yourself and just see what works for you. Now, of course, you can also just pronounce the, and just notice where that tip of the tongue sits. When you're doing it with the vowel only, does it kind of sneak into that position? If you don't, you're ready to move on to step two, because now that we've cleared the vowels and we've made sure that there is no lisp there, let's introduce consonants that typically could pick up a bit more lisp, like S, the consonant S, or even if you want to try the consonant Z, Z, which is basically just the voice version of the S sound. And so let's go through that same exercise, but now we're just going to add the consonant S in front of every single vowel, just a bit like this. Sa, se, si, so, su. Sa, se, si, so, su. Let's try it with a Z now. Za, ze, zi, zo, zu. Za, ze, zi, zo, zu. Now, once again, we're just trying to notice where the tip of a tongue is resting. Personally, for me, the tip of my tongue just kind of stays in that same position, similar to the vowels, kind of, back of my bottom teeth. But what you can do here, if you want to be extra sure, is just adding a th, that kind of sound in front of every vowel, because then you can now compare them. So let's go. Tha, the, thi, tho, thu, sa, se, si, so, su, tha, the, thi, tho, thu. All I'm doing here is noticing where the tip of my tongue rests between the both of these sounds. Now, if step 2 was no dramas and you've nailed that, well done. Let's move to step 3 and I'm going to throw to you a bit of a challenge. Let's right now go through all the 5 vowels as we've done, but now we're going to alternate between the S consonant and also th, that kind of consonant as well. And the goal of it is just to get our tongue to be, a bit more free, to kind of move through a bit more accurately and build in that muscle memory. So it sounds a bit like this. Tha, se, thi, so, thu. Tha, se, thi, so, thu. Just going between those consonants. Now, of course, you can reverse it as well. Sa, the, si, tho, su. Now, this is starting to feel a bit like a tongue twister, but hopefully this highlights to you that, for those of you who are working through a interdental lisp, a lot of times just finding a better resting position for the tip of your tongue. Anyway, I hope this answers your question. If it did, leaving a 5-star on this podcast would really, really mean the world to me. If you're listening on YouTube, any other social media platform as well, leaving a like, comment, subscribe, and sharing it with a friend, that really helps grow this channel and I really would appreciate it. Apart from that, my name is Ivan. I'm your voice teacher. If you're interested in working with me, I've got some links down in the description. I'll see you next week. Take care.